Welcome everybody. We're just talking about pre-workouts and stimulants and early morning Joe.
Yes.
Coffee, if you don't know who Joe is. Luckily, we don't have anyone on the show right now named Joe. But Justin, I noticed on your Instagram you are fully in the off season, looking big as a house.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying.
And you still look good. Like you can still see the lines. Like it's I think it speaks to how serious you're taking this prep.
Yeah, this off season for sure. On the last time we were talking, kind of covering some of the injuries and stuff that were. When did we have the last podcast? Like a month and a half ago, maybe.
Yeah, over a month ago.
Probably. Yeah, around there. I was, having battling the injuries that I was coming back from. I think honestly the biggest driver for like growth and like performance improvement was honestly resting. Like,
yes,
how when's the last time like great like question for Lamar, like when's the last time you took like a couple weeks off training or like a couple week of like deloading and like completely like allowing it to get out of your mind, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I need to implement that.
Not right now, obviously, being
but I haven't. Yeah.
Like maybe post show if you like, like shutting it down for a couple weeks. Like I honestly think that was because like last year I started prep weighing 232, 233 pounds. And like obviously like the last prep I did and the last two shows I did were the best I've ever looked, right? But right now I'm sitting at 247. So I'm up like, 14 pounds, and we're gonna try to push to like 250 before starting preps. That'll be close to an 18-pound increase. And the only real thing I've changed is taking those extra rests. And to be honest with you, like I haven't even pushed things on, let's say, a performance end, if you catch my drift. Like it's been very, very reserved because of the fact of resting and being unsure if I'm going to be able to push hard. And it just, honestly, I think the rest just really helped me. You know what I mean? I really, really believe that the rest and taking some time off. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have if I didn't get hurt. So maybe it was a blessing to, to get hurt, I suppose. Right.
Yeah. Did you take the time like during that those weeks to get your blood levels checked and get all your metrics measured to kind of see where your baseline could be as you start your prep?
Yeah, so I did that before I got injured.
Okay.
Everything else was good, and that's when I started my off season. I plan to get some stuff taken in the next couple weeks before going into prep for the 2023 season.
Right. Yep.
And some earlier shows this in 2023.
Yeah. Okay. Lamar, how's your Olympia prep going?
Yeah, how's prep?
12 weeks? No.
Yeah, 12? Today is 12 weeks out. Yeah, it's going good. This is the best shape and the closest to the weight cap I've been. So the goal is to we're trying to crush it now to work on, conditioning, getting that body fat down. And then from there, I feel like I'm going to be able to, use some food to, to push into it, cruise into the show. Because normally I would start prep 245, 250 at about 15 weeks out. So I'm right there at 15, 18 pounds over. So I feel pretty good. Energy isn't bad. Sleep is still good. So, and as far as supplements, everything is like all-time low. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Aren't high at all. There's no coffee yet.
Yeah, I know. So I feel good, man. I just the mindset of it, just continuing to remind myself to just focus on me, not worrying about the Terrence Ruffins and the C-Bums and the Urus and all that. And on top of that, it's, I don't know, it's like 40 people and still growing. So it's like, okay, you're doing your best, but it's like that thing where you hear being overlooked. Is that going to be a case for a lot of guys? I don't know.
Well, if you have 40 people on stage, how I can't imagine how the judges would have to look at each single person and not get eye fatigue.
I know.
And then you think about every division. It's
exactly. So and it's like, okay, my last name is Shaw, so I'm coming in at the tail end of everybody. So
yeah.
you seeing 30 guys before me, you have a pretty good idea who the top 10 is from that. But I mean, that's just a theory, because I'm right there. I'll be somewhere lined up with Terrence and I think, well, I forgot his last name. What's Dino's last name?
Ramon.
Ramon? What's his? Well, anyway, my point being is they're at the tail end, so they're more than likely going to be in the top call out. So I don't think the overlook theory is a thing, but it's just one of those small concerns that I'm like, damn, like after looking at X amount of guys, do they even care at a certain point?
Yeah. You
So
bring up an interesting thought.
yeah,
If you're going to be coming in, pretty close to right behind Terrence Ruffin, he's known for posing and routines. So
right.
what could potentially be the strategy to continue to get the judges' eyes on you? Or maybe even their look is going to be fresh since they were just like, wowed.
Exactly.
So, you could be in a really sweet spot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I worked on that. So I mean, I have my morning routine down, and I'm confident in that. And I think after doing so many shows, because this would be my 11th pro show, so it's like, all right, the stage presence is there. I know what to do. I know what not to do. So I have to present that with the confidence. And obviously, if I believe it, they're gonna believe it. So I mean, I got it down packed. So I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna put everything on the line. I'm gonna hit the poses, and yeah, I'm not wishing for the best, but I know the best will come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's a good outlook.
yeah,
No.
I appreciate it, yeah.
There's a lot of pro shows, bro.
11. Yeah.
When did you turn pro? What year?
2018.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
you've done. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Got a good.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I did 3 shows my pro debut year, well, my rookie season. Then after that, I did 1 the following year, and then I did 3 the next year. This year I did 3. Olympia make 4. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Impressive.
Yeah. And I think that helps, not even thinking about the placing, but I think after being in front of the judges so many times and being on stage, that not the wisdom, but the maturity level, like, it's okay, it's just another show. So that's how I'm kind of trying to approach it.
The stage maturity, the stage awareness, the stage. We talk about this in like posing and in my posing, like just being present on the stage. A lot of people, they just. I love going to like some amateur shows, and I love watching how people pose and I think the most unique thing is watching what they are doing with their face.
Right.
Like, I remember seeing someone at this was so. I don't mean to knock this kid. Hopefully you'll never see this. I don't even know who he was. This men's physique was posing like straight onto the judge, but he was looking at the wall all the way to his left.
Oh.
That. And like, why aren't you looking at the judges? Why aren't you looking at the fans? Why aren't you letting them know that you're paying attention to them? It's like he couldn't make eye contact. And I thought it was just hilarious. But you're right. Like the maturity you have on stage now helps, in addition to the amazing physique you have and the presentation you bring. It's like just a mature package, like all in all.
And it's almost it's second nature now. So not only working on your presentation and the posing and also your face, but okay, when everything is in my mind, everything is planned out. So when they call your number, know your number. You still got guys looking down, not even knowing, like, what are you talking, like, why you don't know your number? So like that. And then okay, number 31, first call out, like just throwing in something like this. like it's something that I thought about. Like I see myself doing this day after day in my mind now. Like, how am I gonna show myself my celebratory walking on to that first call out line? How am I, if I'm bumping elbows with somebody, how am I doing that? I'm thinking
Yep.
about all these ins and outs. So when it happens, I've already been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentally preparing yourself for, those different challenges.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that. Okay. Well, it sounds like you got a good head on your shoulder coming into the Olympia prep.
Yeah.
Everything's going good so far.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing anything like in the free time to kind of like give your mind kind of like a break? Like, are you into painting or long walks on the beach?
Um, no, well, I have been doing more walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, screw that. I'm doing more.
More cardio for a
Yeah,
hobby?
so I don't know. I mean, I'll read something. If I'm trying to learn, I read based off of that. I just bought Eric Thomas' book, UOU.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read that. But yeah, nothing. I don't know. I just seem so absorbed into it. So it's either training or focusing on my online clients, my in-person clients. But my mind is wrapped on it. But I'm not overthinking it to where it's unhealthy. So I try to have at least a good balance on it. So when it's time to train, I train. When it's time to eat, I eat. And I mean, I have my thoughts, but I try to make sure that I'm not stuck on it too long where I can't focus on other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. You don't want to get burnt out, this early or this close to your first Olympia.
Exactly. Yeah.
You said what, like you're 16 pounds above the weight cap right now?
Yeah, between 15, 18.
15 and 18? Okay. And then what's your food looking like right now? Like calories, and then how much cardio are you doing right now?
Yeah, so we just decreased the cardio. So I'm at 30 minutes fasted, and he doesn't care about step count, but I do because I know it works.
Yep.
So I'll try to get 10K in. But just a week ago, we was doing a damn an hour. So I was doing 30 fasted and 30
Wow.
either after meal 4, meal 5. And then calories are about 2,200 to 2,500.
Okay.
So I've
Wow.
been having fairly decent refeeds.
Yeah.
Um, but my body's actually responding pretty good with just 2 carb meals. So just breakfast and then my pre-workout meal, just a cup of rice. Everything else is just protein and veggies. So yeah, I mean, I haven't been craving anything crazy, and my energy is still fairly high. My strength is increasing too. So it might be that one prep where I don't need much carbs. I hate to say that, but it's like
I mean, if
yeah,
you can get away with it,
I know. So yeah, I feel good, man. Yeah.
Have for both of you guys, have you ever heard of people talking about how consuming carbs right in the morning can make you kind of more lethargic coming into your morning?
Yeah.
So part one, and then part two, um, is there any like specific benefits for you having, you said you had 2 carb meals. So is there any specific benefit for you having a carb meal right off the bat?
You want to take this first?
Okay, I can go first. So, I've done breakfast with carbs and without carbs. With the carbs, I haven't noticed any decrease in, I haven't felt lethargic or felt tired or
Or like
anything.
cloudy brain or anything?
Yeah, I haven't. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's always been good, good output from that. And then also without carbs, I've had the same thing. Just feeling pretty steady. Um, But I do look forward to the pre-workout carbs. So, obviously you need that for the fuel. But I don't know. I mean, I guess been doing it for so long, you kind of know what to look for. And my first coach, very old school, like we was bikini diet keto, like veggies, almonds, protein, and that was it. So
You get shredded?
huh?
You get shredded?
What was that?
Did you get shredded?
Oh man, yeah. I did.
That wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that was the problem. That was like the leanest I've ever been in my life. Like on stage, it was no question. Like it was impossible for me to spill over because first national show, he didn't know, I didn't, he knew, but he didn't know what the next day was going to bring. Because they, the prejudging, you pretty much got your placing. So we kind of ate that night. Like I went in and ate, drinking soda. I came in the next day, I was looking out of this world. So they actually did a reconfirmation round because that's how different I looked the next day.
Wow.
I mean, I still got my same placing, but they was like, okay, this guy is showing up different. But I mean, it's not open bodybuilding, so I wasn't being judged at that point. But they took it into consideration though. But yeah, I was super lean with this coach. I mean, but the cardio was high. And looking back on it, to do that every year and then be at this level now, my body it wouldn't have held up. It was like 2 hours of cardio, training, no carbs. Wow. Like I would literally come home. It'd be sometimes like the cravings and things was so high, I would be crying because I was like, "Yo, if this is what it takes to be competitive, I don't think I want to do this." But I fought through it. But yeah, it was rough. Like I was scared to do another prep with him, so I had to reevaluate some things.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's how deep the struggle was. You want to go, Justin, on the carb breakfast question?
Yeah, so I think I agree with a lot of what you said. I think we are different for what we do. Whereas like in prep, I won't notice if carbs with breakfast or breakfast with or without carbs does anything drastic to me. You know what I mean? I noticed that more in prep, probably around the stage where you're at, when the body's just like moving like a furnace, and like I don't know, because the body's just, whatever you're putting in, it's just burning through it. What I will say is, in an off-season setting when food is high, I do feel more lethargic after breakfast with higher carbs. And maybe it's just because I'm overall more tired. And you have more food coming in readily throughout the day. And that's just the meal that, like, you take the carbs in, your insulin, spikes and it crashes. And and you mentioned carbs pre-workout. So actually I don't like carbs pre-workout. When I'm in prep, to be honest with you, my insulin just crashes.
Oh, okay.
I'll get real, like I'll have to like sit down for a couple minutes, and I usually, it doesn't happen often, and I can't really explain exactly when, how, and why, but every, like, if I have carbs pre-workout, which tends to be kind of regularly, because you're basing it around there might be a minute or two where like I get real like lightheaded and like start to sweat and start to get like hot, and I'm like, I need to sit down for a second, from that. I don't know if you've ever had that experience either.
What's your carb source?
It's rice. It's quick.
Oh damn, that's crazy. Because
yeah,
I've only noticed that or felt what you just described when I use carb powders, because I feel like it shoots quick and I drop quick. But with rice and potatoes, I feel pretty sustained across the workout.
Yeah, I don't know why it's me. I don't know why why it happens. I can tell you that it definitely it's not scary because I know how to manage it. I literally just sit down and let it pass. But like I used to be like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like what is, because like like blood sugar crash and feeling yourself, it's like,
yep,
start to sweat like randomly, and you're always cold in prep, so like that this is like not, and it's not your pre-workout, it's so that's something that I've personally noticed. But like what I handle carbs the best in prep after my workout and before bed. And usually we'll go carbless for breakfast in prep. That's just a trend that we kind of like follow. However, like I do have carbs around like pre and post and bedtime. I notice around bedtime, it does help with my sleep, and like I wake up looking a lot better. And I don't those like those issues that I was just kind of talking about, because they're not fun. They're not. But yeah, so I mean, for the general population, I would say that it really, really depends. Like, and you might have heard like a lot of people, they like to like fat load for breakfast and then have their carbs later in the day, whether they're in prep or they're just your average person. I think that's why like bacon and eggs became a thing for breakfast. Like, you know what I mean? Just like bacon and eggs, like it's all fat and protein, right? So with like virtually no carbs. So yeah, maybe I don't know, but that works for me. So I'm on a similar page, you know.
Okay, Jared, welcome. Jared?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How's it going for you, man?
Good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Hotel life still? One more day?
You know, weekend to weekend, every weekend.
Pretty much. What is this, like your 7th show this year?
This was number 6.
6. I gave you a free one.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah. How's the body? How's the family?
Coming into body is how the body's gonna go. It's good. Yeah. And family's great. You know, I can't complain.
Yeah. You guys got any with Sunday, right? Any fun plans?
We are going to explore some more San Antonio today, and then we're gonna fly back this afternoon to Virginia.
Okay. Fun. Okay. San Antonio. Is that on the water?
Yeah, it's right on the river. It's right on a river. Like this, I think it's the San Antonio River, but I'm not too sure.
Okay. You probably do something, have some fun there.
I got a question for Jared.
What's your question?
How do you feel physically? Like, are you able to still push in the gym and cardio and things, or do you feel just like, oh my God, like another step?
I would say up until this past week, because I believe that somewhere around maybe Thursday of last week, I started to reach a newer level of condition I've never been to. That's where I started to feel really, really like just like I was just going through the motions. You know, I'm in the gym, I'm going through my training, and I feel like there's no contractions, just nothing. Justin asked me earlier in the week. He was like, when you're training, like, do you feel like your muscles are contracting? Like, do you feel like they're cramping? Like, like obviously rate it where it is. And I'm like, well, when I wake up and I pose, I cramp a little bit. When I lift, I can feel like a little bit of blood, things like that. So I just get like, I got really, really depleted. And I think partially that's because there was just less food. There was more energy output. I was doing anywhere from 90 to 120 minutes of cardio, and I was eating I would go as low as 1,800 calories, as high as 2,500 calories. So for that kind of 2-week period, I like the training was just monotonous. I mean, my cardio capacity is still continuing to increase, which I continue to challenge myself ever since February. So I'm walking very quickly at around 12% incline now, walking around 3.5 to 4 miles an hour at a 12% incline. So I can do that for about 90 minutes. I mean, I'm exhausted, I'm gassed, but I can do that 90 minutes straight now, even at where I'm at right now physically. So in terms of cardio capacity, I feel like it's some of the best I've ever had in my life. But in terms of like lifting, I feel very, very weak.
Yeah.
How's that, Nate?
What's that? I'm sorry?
How's that, Nate?
Oh, thank you. The quad, it's getting a lot better.
The quad, sorry, yeah.
To be completely honest with you, it was making leaps and bounds up until, I would say, probably peak week for the Southwest show, which was maybe 4 weeks ago. I think once the calories got too low on the daily basis, it hasn't really made too much progress since then, but it also hasn't gotten any worse.
Hasn't been able to get better because it's been you. Do you guys ever notice, like, if you get bruises close to a show, they take a lot longer to go away?
Sure do.
Yeah, because your body just can't recover.
Absolutely. And that's just honestly like, that's, I guess you could say, kind of what I'm starting to realize is like the main detriment of like trying to like not just because I could go with the idea of, okay, I want to come in fuller, I want to come in bigger, and just mainly that be my focus. And I think, back feeding a little bit, you could maybe keep that going for a little while. But when you're just digging to the bottom, you're going to eventually hit the rock wall where it's like, okay, I gotta, level out a little bit at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I definitely need to level out a bit.
Mm-hmm. And this is still your rookie year, right?
Yeah, my rookie year right now.
Yeah. I mean, geez, what a year. Lamar, you said you did 3-year rookie year?
Yeah, I did 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Jared, you're doing good, man.
Yeah.
Busy.
I did one show.
Justin's like, I was good. One was good.
one and done. One and done.
Just let them see you, and you're like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
And my reason for asking was because, I would love to do the same thing too. Compete, because that's kind of what they did in the 80s, 90s. It was like, okay, I know how I feel after 3 shows, so I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I could just ask if they respond, like Milos and all these guys. Like, how in the hell were they weekend after week doing this? And I don't know. So it's like I would like to, obviously, for a paycheck, but then also, just for the exposure, and I love it. But it's like, man, how much can your body really take?
It's so true. I mean, like, in my opinion, I do believe that, like, once you are accustomed to a certain level of conditioning, like, say, for instance, the first time you get to 6% body fat, you're going to feel like you're dying. But if you can hold that for 2-4 weeks, and then you come back down to it again, it's not going to quite feel as bad as that first time. And I think that those 90s and those early 2000s guys, they were so used to that level of conditioning that going show to show is just, okay, low carb Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, feedback out Thursday, Friday, and it's just like clockwork. You're going to have those shitty workouts, Tuesday, Wednesday, but you also know that Sunday and that Monday workout's going to be decent. And you just kind of have to build it off of that. If I need to get bigger legs, like, if the judges specifically tell me, Jared, you need bigger legs in a week, in 2 weeks, I'm going on Sunday, I'm going on Monday or Sunday, and I'm gonna really, really do a lot of volume, get a lot of blood flow in that muscle. And then the thing is, that's when those carbs are still in my system from the carb up and from, my free meal after the show. By the time I start to deplete down, my legs are already fed up. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you just have to think about it like that.
Another thing too, I mean, to interject, I think a great point that I don't know if we brought this up last time. I think we kind of brought up the financial aspect behind what we do. I truly think that those guys in the 90s, Lamar, like, a lot of them had contracts. A lot of them weren't working jobs. And like this was their job to do this. So, like,
magazine contracts too.
The powers that be made it easy for them to travel and to have all their stuff available and stuff. Like, if I think about that stuff right now, it'd make me sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? With how much work you'd have to take off with trying to, like, prepare your food, with the bills behind all that stuff. And I think that is, like, the biggest thing in my mind as to why I wouldn't want to do that reoccurring. But if, like, sponsors were paying for your food, paying for your travel, paying for all this, you weren't working, it could definitely, I would do it as well. You know what I mean? Is that,
no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yeah, interesting you say that. Like, you guys say that. I totally agree 100%. But also, like a Galvanized Productions, they DM me yesterday, like, hey, Texas State, blah blah blah. And I told them straight up, I was like, I'd love to be there. You take care of my travel, and I'll make it happen. It's that simple. And they were like, they sent me back, some cheeky emojis, things like that. I'm like, yeah. I'm serious though. Like, you make me a way to get there. I don't really have a reason not to be there. I mean, obviously, health permitted. My health's been good.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite show I've competed as a pro. I've only competed at 3 shows, but that show was unreal. Battle Texas was great too. Any Texas show. I mean,
Texas goes all out.
But Texas State was just sick. It was a super cool show to be a part of. So if you do have an opportunity somehow, and you said your body can kind of come back to life a bit and do what you want it to do, then it's probably like a month and a half away.
Yeah, it's about maybe about.
Quiet. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts.
5 isn't bad. Like, I definitely know that I need. I'll say it like this: I know that I need 3. So if I could do some, like, 4 or 5 weeks, I could back. But I don't even know, man. Honestly, I need some feedback from. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much about the show because the feelings are still pretty. But this was my best physique. I mean, the pictures came out this morning. I was absolutely blown away.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, so I respectfully, the judges didn't look at me. They didn't make eye contact with me. Didn't even look at me with my individuals. And honestly, like, I'm gonna just say it straight up. Honestly, I'm gonna go public here. So when they did the final call outs, and that's the first time I did a back double bicep the whole entire day, because they cut off my prejudging routine at 20 seconds. Literally at 20 seconds, they told us it was going to be 20 seconds. So obviously I should have, whatever the case might've been, I'm a professional, I own up, I take responsibility, but I did think that I'd be able to at least hit a back double bicep, 3 poses total. But with that being said, after that happened, judges didn't even look at me. So the judges weren't even looking at me when I started my prejudging routine. When we went into finals, they weren't looking at me, or not finals, excuse me, but for the final call out, they were not looking at me. So I would wait to pose. I would not hit the pose until they looked in my direction, and then I would start to hit the pose. And they realized that, they took notice of that. And when they started looking at me, they instantly moved me to the middle automatically in the final call out. And after that, checking the scorecard and everything, I have 47 points. All the other guys that got 16 have 48 points. You know what I'm saying? So there's something that's really something that's not right that's going on here. I'm saying it right out. I know this is going to be public. I know it's going to be on YouTube. I don't care about the ridicule. I don't care about what comes down on me. That's what happened Saturday. 100%. They did not look at my physique until it was too late.
Yeah, were any of the judges that you've seen anytime this year?
I saw one of the judges. I think I recognized him from the Houston Tournament of Champions. I do forget his name, but he was on the far right side, stage right. So he was on the left side, sitting in the stages side. But besides him, not familiar with any of the other judges. Alan Seisman, the head expediter of the whole entire show, was there as well with me, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know who that guy is." You know what I'm saying? I've seen him before, but I've never seen him as a head judge before. I don't know who he is. I don't have anything personally against the judges. I don't want anybody to be seeing this as heat or anything. But all I'm saying is the professionality of viewing my physique when I step on that stage. I paid all this money to get here. I did all the work to, improve my physique. I took the advice from all the other judges this whole entire year, and I compiled something. And I brought something beautiful, and it wasn't even looked at.
Yeah. Well, that's what's nice about this sport and having this platform is you're able to critique what should be critiqued. Judges, promoters, the IFBB, NPC, Manions, like all those guys, like they're not above reproach. Like you need to be able to critique, and I mean the whole Bob Chicarella thing. Like athletes and fans need to be able to express their concerns, because if it is something serious, if judges really aren't looking at you, and you're typically a top 6, top 8 guy, something's off. Something's a little funky.
One thing about me, ever since I was an amateur, is I make a point to make eye contact with every single judge, from the left to the right, from the right to the left. I make eye contact with every single judge. I smile and I show them
before he came on here. Before we talk about them.
I know, yeah.
I show them that I belong. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be here, and I appreciate you for having me here. And I, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be here watching me right now. That's what I do at every single show. I make eye contact with every single person. I wasn't able to hold eye contact with any judges, not a single one. The whole entire show, from prejudging to finals. This is the first time this has ever happened to me, all the way from the amateurs up till now. I remember my very first national show, Big Steve W. You know what I'm saying? I'm in, North Americans, or not North Americans, but Universe, 2017, skinny 19-year-old kid. And even he, he looks up and then he looks back down, and it's okay. But at the same time, too, I get it. I was such a small kid. I didn't belong on that stage. So that's why he did that. That's Steve W. Steve W. this day will watch me on that stage from the time I get on to the time I get off. So I don't think that anybody is above watching me present myself on that stage if they're judging me. And Sandy Williamson shows me that same respect. You know what I'm saying? Bill shows me that same respect. Maz Ali shows me that same respect.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see the aftermath from this show, and the comparisons for sure. I still need to dig through all the photos and see what was going on, because even if the judges weren't looking at you, like
in the comparison,
they
didn't even have us do like front double bicep, side chest, back double, nothing. It was quarter turns. All right. Individuals. All right. First call out, second call out, third out. All right.
That's like some NPC stuff.
Yeah, it was professional. I mean, that's the general consensus from the other competitors that I talked to. The way that they ran it was not very professional. It wasn't very conducive to a artistic professional performance.
How many competitors were in Classic?
21.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say if it was like 30, 40, then just initially thought was like, okay, they're trying to rush through. But at 20, I feel like the time should have been taken to look at everybody.
Yeah.
Was
I
it a
mean,
pro?
and I no
Was it a
disrespect to anybody. I don't know why they ran it that way. Maybe they did it for a particular reason. But all I'm saying is that as a professional, it just wasn't enough for us.
was it a pro-am?
Yes, it was a pro amateur show.
Did the amateurs go that same day or like a day before, the day after? Like,
They started at like 8 a.m. and then I think they went into from like 8 a.m. until around like 10:30. And I'm not too sure. There might have been like some kind of like, well, actually, excuse me. I think the amateur went from like 8:30 until when we started. And then if I remember correctly, it went all the way through us. Then they had like a fashion show in the middle, like the Toxic Angels fashion show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And then I didn't see it, but it was cool. And then after that, they started finals, and they went straight for the pros. And I think they finished with the amateurs.
One of those judges got a little bit of eye fatigue after doing all the amateurs.
That's what I mean. Respectfully, that's maybe that's what happened. You know, being a judge is definitely not an easy job. I mean, you're looking at a lot of
imagine. Yeah.
So it gets tiring, but you know, if you need a break, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't mind waiting a little bit longer.
Especially being professionals, if that's what you're saying has happened, and like, you know, I guarantee there wasn't nearly as many competitors as there would be at a national show, right? So like, there should be no excuse to make sure, especially the pros, have adequate time to do what they need to do because they're professionals, you know.
That's how we definitely felt. I mean, and that's once again those are the big things. I mean, you know, look at your competitors when they're on stage, and you know, give them enough time to properly present themselves, provide with the proper amount of comparisons, you know, do comparisons, move people around, you know, different things like that. You know, I think that's all we really asked for. I'm not asking for anything else. I'm not saying I should have got it first. I'm not saying I should have got 10. I'm not saying I should have got 15. I'm just saying I would have liked a fair chance is all.
Yeah. More time and not getting cut off in the middle of posing. Yeah.
It's funny because at the very last thing, you know, they have you walk on stage. You know, if you don't get top 10, you just go in and you just hit one pose. They called my name and I just stood there. And I waited 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 and I waited. And when one lady started to look up, I finally started to hit my classic pose. And then you know, after the show, Gilka walked up to me and he was like, "Hey man, like, did you wait for the judges to look at you before you pose?" And I said, yes. And he was like, "They weren't looking at you the whole time, were they?" Right. Yeah. And he was like, I saw heads go up, or I saw the one lady's head go up, and then you started to pose.
Yeah.
So that was the treatment that I received here in San Antonio at the show. And that's no knock to the city. That's no knock to 10. That's no knock to anybody. I love San Antonio. It's a beautiful city. Shout out to all you guys. But that's the treatment that I received from the judges at the show. Yeah, in Texas, San Antonio.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I was saying Texas.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm not, you know, this isn't like, I'm not out here trying to just like cause problems or we're starting any drama or anything like that. But I'm shocked. Like, I'm truly shocked. Like, I've never seen this happen before.
Yeah.
I've done over 25 shows now. I've done over 25 shows across the U.S.
A lot of shows, man. Let's stick with classic. Have you guys been paying attention to the Arnold UK at all with the classic division? And I mean, just
Dude,
all the drama.
I'm about to say there's some crazy developments with that classic division in the UK, man.
So
man, like I know you. Peter Molnar is going up to 212.
Yep.
Peter
and what's his name? Modelman.
All three of those guys.
All three of them.
Yeah.
So is Madelman going 212?
He's doing 212, and I think someone said Kuba was doing open going back to open. I think just for this show, though.
I think Madelman's going to do really, really well in 212 because, like, he's got one of those physiques that like can transcend both divisions very easily. In my opinion, like kind of like Terrence as well.
Do you think that these guys really didn't prepare properly to make their weight, or something was off with the scale to have three guys be
It's a
over?
great question.
You know what I mean? Because like
Great question.
three guys at the Arnold UK, right? Like in this division, like that seems like, I know we could say it's just like three guys, but I don't know. That seems like a lot of guys to
Top guys too.
yeah, like that, like to
Maybe.
not prepare. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a pretty fair question. You know?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I think it's a scale thing, and I'm only saying that because I know Peter. We had the same coach, and I know Chris isn't the one to be flexible on weight. Like if he's going to have you come in, you're going to come in. So
yeah,
when I seen that, like I was like, okay, something's not right because you're not
other
going
guy
to make weight.
well.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I feel like Middleman's kind of the wild card because that man has been known to be a little bit silly when it comes to his weigh-ins and things like that. I don't know if you guys
didn't he put an afro on last year?
Yeah, he tried to wear a wig because he wanted to get a higher. He did that, and then like he didn't make weight at a few other shows.
Yep.
And so really inconsistent with making weight, which I will say.
Right.
And that's a wild card about Middleman. Like every time there's a big show, there's Arnold, there's Olympia, whatever the case might be. There's always some reason why he can't do it. But he'll do all these small shows around Europe and just smoke everybody.
Mm-hmm. Keep the hype up. Keep the hype. I have to keep saying it every time stuff like this happens. Is what is stopping the IFBB from having classic physiques height put on your pro card? Do your height once and then have a set height. Because maybe you're going to move 1 inch, but why should pro athletes have to worry about 1 inch? Like you should just be, 6'2" or 5'10". Like that should just be known.
Just like your license, whatever your license, because you have a license and your license legally has to be correct, like absolutely, utterly, legally correct. So maybe they should go off of your height on the license, because I'm pretty positive they height everyone correctly when you're doing your license.
Right.
Picture of license. It has, my girl chimed in. But they don't height you.
I lie all the time, say I'm taller.
She says she lies all the time and says she's taller, but so maybe that would be a problem.
I mean, I'm actually only 6'1", but I say I'm 6'2". But my family says I'm 6'3", so
that's and for that
I picked the middle.
7 to 14 pounds. So
right. And did y'all see the interview with C-Bum and was it RX Muscle?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, even he
with Ryan
talked about it. He was like having a card on there. It's like you got the #1 guy in classics speaking on it. Like obviously it's something that needs to be, implemented, because he was saying how he was this way, then he was going to come in at this height. So like, all right, he's already got the most room out of everybody to grow in this weight cap, I believe. So it's like, all right, I mean, we're not the only ones talking about this. So yeah. Because 7 pounds.
I think we need like a universal scale. Like the IFBB just needs to buy a scale from Sam's Club and send it to every promoter.
One brand, one model number. Yep.
I think that's one thing, because I will step on some scales, and some scales, I have the same scale with me. I keep it with me no matter what. What I've realized is that my scale tends to be a little heavy now, which is good for me when I'm, trying to make weight and things like that. If I can make weight on that scale, I know I'm good. But there have been some shows where I'm right at weight on that scale, and I'll be a pound over. I'll be a pound, 2 or 3 pounds under, and I'm just like this is close, man.
Why should
people are working hard for that pound?
Why should we have to worry about that? We have to, stress about that. And I think that could be a very, very, very reasonable request. Honestly, I don't think that's like, it's really, because if you think about it, you just want it to be consistent. Like what happens if you height yourself and you're 5'11", and the next show they height you at 6 foot? It's like, well, now I can put on 7 pounds, and you go to the next show and they get you a 5'11" again. It's like, oh shit, I got to drop that. You know what I mean? And that's like, so it could help you. Like I think everyone who like would want this idea just want to know exactly what they need to do for the show. They don't want to play a game of like,
One
and
less
down.
wrench.
Yeah, I'd rather know, like, okay, I'm 5'11", not 6 foot. I need to be exactly this every show. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's not a chance that they're going to get me at 6 foot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that's fair.
I think so.
Now the question is, like, is C-Bum's talking about it, Arcs, Muscle, all these big media outlets are talking about it. Like, who isn't listening, or what's the formal process? Like, I'm about to message Bob and be like, hey dude, like what's the formal process for this? Because you seem to be the gatekeeper on all this stuff.
I think if C-Bum says something about it, that's one of the biggest things. And I mean, I'm gonna say, like, the C-Bum is the most powerful individual that does not directly work for the IFBB or any other promotional organization. He is the directly most influential. So if he says he wants it, that's about the best shot we got.
Yep. Because you're gonna have millions of fans also wanting it and speaking their concerns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time too, like, it's got to be like Chris Bumstead's basically got to be like, yeah, I'm only going to do the Olympia if you guys do this.
Ooh, leverage it. Yeah.
I like that.
It's not outlandish. It's not like we're saying, hey, every division needs to get like $1 million rewards. Like
Right.
This is like, just put on the card, like height and weight.
Yep.
Like it's very, very simple. Your license has it. It's like it's not anything.
It should be standard. Yeah. I'm sure the MMA doesn't height them every show. I know they weigh them, but I don't think they height them.
Yeah, which is fine. They could weigh us every show too, right? You know what I mean? But like, to play this back and forth game of the height, right? You know what I mean? That's stressful. And then you're like, if they height you and you're 6 foot, but they get you under 6 foot, and you're like, oh,
And then what kind of like unhealthy things do you have to do to make weight and then show up in a not optimal package? Like, it's not good for the show. It's not good for the athlete. It introduces health risks.
On top of it being a little bit unhealthy, right?
Yeah. And if the IFBB wants to focus on, athletes being as healthy as they can, I think that they should be on board with this.
Yeah.
I think so too. Knowing what you need to weigh is crucial for the sport for so many different reasons, health reasons even, so I agree.
Okay, cool. I like that. I like that idea. I think it's gonna be good. There's only positives from it.
Right.
Let's see. The open lineup looks like Lionel Beyeke dropped out again. I don't get this guy. Like, he has so much potential, but he's had so much potential for like a decade.
I saw something that might make sense.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned on one of the posts that he might have a potential criminal record that does not allow him to get a visa and travel, which would explain why it's so tough for him. Again, I don't know anything about anyone, but that's just something I saw someone mention, and a couple people said, oh, that would make sense. Like, if, you know what I mean, to make it tough. How many times has he tried to come to these shows, or has he been invited to these shows? I think we all want to see him, and I don't think he's just like shitting the bed every prep. If he is, then like, God bless. But like, I think that could very well be a possibility. Not to knock the guy. I don't know anything about the individual. I saw someone comment that, and I was like, oh, that's one of the only real reasons I could kind of justify as to why he's having a tough time maybe getting this visa.
Yeah.
They won't.
From France to the UK, like, it shouldn't be that hard. It's because they're all part of the EU, so it should be.
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know anything, so
I don't know anything either.
I genuinely just want to see the guy succeed. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, he looks great. He's looks
bubbly, great proportions. Just hasn't been able to show up.
Yeah,
literally just showing up.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you say show up as in like bring the physique, but nah, bro, you gotta like come.
No, I'm talking about like entering into the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little upsetting. Have you guys looked at the scorecard for Open? I know you guys are classic, but we love bodybuilding. What's your guys' predictions
For the UK?
Yeah, for the UK. That's today. Finals start at 7 p.m.
I
I'm sure they're already on stage right now.
7 p.m. Yeah, it'll be on stage in like a few hours probably.
Yeah. No live stream yet that I've seen.
There's not going to be one.
So dumb.
There's not going to be one.
Wow, there's no what for an what
For an Arnold.
There's no live stream.
Oh my god,
Martin put something out. Yeah.
that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this whole show's been very interesting.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
think
let me get the scorecard for you.
Mark, and then probably Martin top 3.
I agree with that top 3.
Yeah.
Agree with that.
And I think Martin's going to come in second. I think that Mark will come third. I just think it'll be a rematch in Texas. I think that Mark Hector is phenomenal. However, listen, as a classic guy and as classic lovers as we are, like I'm drawn a little bit more to shape and proportion. And I just feel as though from what I've seen, I don't know how his legs are going to be when they come in peaked, and if he's going to lose some fullness down there, and like his upper body is just so impressive, right? So like that's the only thing that would keep me, mentally like not having him over Martin, because like Martin I thought looked phenomenal in Texas, and I think that he's if they say he's only going to be better, then I really don't doubt that. You know what I mean? I have a hard time doubting that with the people that are helping him in this corner, like Branch and whatnot. So I agree with the top 3. I just think Martin might edge out Mark.
Could. I totally agree with that. He could.
Yeah, he could. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen. That's just based on like,
I think like for Martin's physique, I mean, that's I'm kind of making an aside here, but I think with Martin, he's just got one of those physiques that just needs a little bit more overall mass to it, and then he's gonna be like very comfortably in that conversation, no matter what. I think it's because he's like 25, and Mark Hector and Andrew are like in their middle to late 30s. So like some density. And I know Andrew is new to competing and whatnot, but like there's something that has to be said for like life, like density and maturity as well. You know what I mean? Like not just like Martin might be lifting and competing longer, but like Andrew's been like living longer. I don't know if that's really a good way of justifying it, but like density and age, I think matters, and like maturity,
muscle maturity. Yeah.
Even if Andrew hasn't.
They call it old man.
Yeah, old man muscle, and the skin can thin out a little bit, and there's all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you guys? Did you guys say James Hollingshead?
James, I think he man, it's so weird with him. Like, I feel like he's coming off respectfully. I mean, just from what I've seen from him in the past, and I feel like in order for him to be at top 3, he would just have to be so much harder. Like his normal crazy conditioning that he can bring, which I haven't seen it yet from him this year.
Well, I saw. I went to go look at his pictures actually, because someone put out like a prediction or just the roster or whatnot, and he like turned off comments on his posts, because I went to go look at the one most recent post, and I saw the comments were off, and same as the one before that, and he had nothing on his story. So maybe a lot of people were saying some negative thing, which is a shame, just about him doing like experimenting or coaching himself or doing whatever he was doing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yes.
Not everybody can coach themselves. I'm gonna say it like that. No matter how good, you gotta have a lot of coaching yourself requires not just a discipline, but you have to have a relationship with yourself. Like it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have the ability to tell yourself you don't need that, or you actually do need that. Like, you have the ability. Like, there's times when I'm prepping myself. I'm especially when I'm like coming back up. Like, my thing is I want to be stingy with the food. I start to look at my physique. I don't want to spill over. When in reality, it's like I should be pushing, more and more and more. Or maybe I should be pulling back on my cardio. Maybe I should be pulling back on my diet. And it's like having that ability to like be 100% real with yourself is the hardest part. You know, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror, and if you're having a bad day, you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you know, and you're not necessarily having a bad day mentally, but like maybe you're tired or you don't feel like doing cardio. You're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I think I was about as lean as I was 4 weeks out." When you're not, you know, things like that, you know, and you're just gonna, you know, kind of tell yourself these things to justify what you're going through. But it's like if you can turn that off, you can be a great coach for yourself. But otherwise, you just get very delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts sipping your own Kool-Aid. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, sipping your own Kool-Aid, or just being like, sipping your own Kool-Aid is one thing, like where you get overly confident, but also too, like there's just so much that goes into it, you know?
Yeah.
So much with it. Like there are some weeks where I'm beating myself up, like, oh, like I did something wrong, and I look back at my notes and my data, I'm like, dude, this is your best week, or vice versa. You know, I think I'm killing. I look back, oh no, we got to go twice as hard this week. Like, what are you doing?
I couldn't coach myself.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
I probably have 0 carbs from like 12 weeks out.
You're like, I need to suffer.
I'd be like, I'm not lean enough. I'd be like, I'm not lean enough. There's no way. And I'd literally like lose all my muscle. Probably. I'd be like, I'm still not lean enough. That's what I'd be. For sure.
That was for me when I first started, man. I would just diet myself to nothing, and I didn't know anything about filling back up, carbon back out, you know, filling the muscles back. So I would just like diet to nothing, show up skinny, and be like, oh, it's the most conditioned.
And then like a couple days go by, and you eat some food, and you're like, why do I look better? What's going on?
Yeah. Literally, bro.
Yeah, I'm full out. I'm looking shredded. I got all this round muscle to me.
Mm-hmm. If only I would have looked like this on stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And I'd say wild cards, Max Charles, Patrick Johnson.
Who's Patrick Johnson?
So Patrick Johnson is I think he got his pro card. It was like at a Norwegian show or something. But he looked really good for last year's British Grand Prix. I'll pull him up for you. He's really thick.
Yeah, this is a weird forever too.
That's 4th, 5th. Depending on what Max does, I think 4th, 5th. I don't know, 4th, 5th, 6th, and that's still only debating on James.
Yeah. Damn, he looks good.
Yeah.
I think he's made some solid improvements since last year.
Yep. Yeah, he's leaner. I mean, this is from August, so he's still got a little bit to go in that lower back, but I think if he does not get overlooked, he's got to be in that top 6.
I would say so. I would say so.
He looks pretty balanced.
Yep. Yeah. Midsections tapered, controlled.
Yeah.
You're like a really tall 212 guy, if you guys know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Put him next to like Kareth or somebody.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I mean, he would dwarf Kareth, honestly. He would.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You know who he reminds me of a little bit? Maybe I'm completely off with this. Jordan Janowitz.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, that graininess, man.
Maybe the jaw.
Yeah, and the shape, like that front double shape, like
bicep.
Yeah. Jordan looked great in Texas.
Man, I want to see an updated picture of Patrick, because if he is a good bit more separated than this, he's looking dangerous.
Let's get on the story.
Yeah, maybe his
Zip Zolchnada.
Who's his coach?
Looks like he coaches himself. Let's see the tags.
Why, Jared? Why do people coach themselves?
Good question.
Why would someone want to? You know what I mean? Like, just because I don't, like, I can't wrap my head around coaching myself ever. Maybe I'm not like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I just like, if I feel like a lot of like more people do than don't, I feel like. So I guess a question for someone that does is like, why do you guys coach yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think that I'm a little bit more unique. The reason why I started coaching myself in the first place was because I realized that the average like local level coach, the average coach around me, like they just didn't really know much respectfully. Like they knew how to train. They knew, the very, very basics of carb depletion and the very, very basics of, rapid depletion. And that was about all that they knew. So once I got to that point where I realized that, I was like, okay, well, there's a lot more to this than that. I started learning, I just started researching on my own, and I picked up a lot of knowledge, on just different types of dieting, different styles of training, different things like that. And I just realized, holy shit, there's a wealth of knowledge. So with that being said, I was self-coached for a little while. And then I started working with, who did I start working with first? I started working with, you might've heard them, Beast Factory Fitness in Atlanta. It's like kind of like a small thing. Like they've got like a few people like that. But long story short, that wasn't really a great experience. The guy was nice and everything, but I just kind of realized there was a lot more to it again. So left working with him, and I worked by myself for a little while. And then I started working with Alex Kiko. Now, me working with Alex Kiko was a bit different. Alex Kiko is an extremely knowledgeable person. He knows a lot about, advanced supplementation, PEDs, things like that. And that's where I would say my knowledge really, really started to take off. And I learned a lot from him. Honestly, I was totally willing to continue to work with coaches pretty much for the rest of my career at that point. I worked with him, but once we got to about 6 weeks out from Junior USA's where I turned pro, he was basically just like, you're not going to make weight. Like, you're not healthily going to make weight. There's no way that you're going to make weight, without hurting yourself or anything like that. And I was just like, I disagree. I don't believe that. So that's when I hired Matt Jansen. And Matt Jansen, I explained him the situation. He was like, we can make it happen. You're going to win. From 6 weeks out, that's what he said. That's what we did. And working with Jansen was really, really great. He taught me, honestly, to stop trying to overcomplicate a lot of things in bodybuilding and to really, really kind of simplify things. Obviously, there are a lot of different principles and things like that you could go into about nutrition, PED use, training, all of those different things like that. But it's like, find what works and stick to it. Alex taught me, you need to do what's specifically right for you. So combining those two methods right there, I was working with Jansen. I just realized, I wasn't quite getting, I think, the attention level care that I think that I wanted personally from a coach. And honestly, there were some calls that he had made that I either, would have made on my own, or there were some things that like he told me to do that I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that. And it worked out. It worked out really good. And some mistakes and things like that, on his end. So, I say all that to say that I basically realized that nobody really understands my body like me. And once again, I did a lot more research, like a lot of time, and I ended up talking to Jonathan Hambrick back a few weeks ago. And, him and I were talking, and it was just, it basically came down to, it's like, when you get to the high level of the pros, you don't have a coach that tells you what to do. Nick, Matt Jansen didn't tell Nick, eat this, eat that, do this, do that, go do this amount of cardio, go do that. What I'm saying? Like Ian doesn't do that to Chris Bumstead. Chris Aceto doesn't necessarily do that to all of his guys. It kind of gets to that point where it's like, it's more of a collaborative effort where it's like your coach knows that you know what you're doing, but he also wants to keep you on track, and he wants to kind of keep you where you're at. So I say all that to say, I still work 100% by myself, but Justin Mahaley has been helping me with a few peaks these past few weeks, peaks, and he's been, my second eye. Maybe try this, maybe take that out, maybe, shoot for a little bit more fullness here, vice versa, things like that. So I kind of say all that to say, people like me work by themselves just simply because we're kind of like the CEOs. We're like the Elon Musk. We want to be in control of everything, but we also understand that there are smarter people to handle certain things for us. What I'm saying? When it comes to diet and nutrition, I don't need anybody to tell me how many grams of rice or chicken to eat. I don't need anybody to explain to me the insulin response from this, that, and the third. I know exactly how it works to the point where I do it for other people now, but at the same time too, if I'm worried, hey, Justin, do you think I'm on track right now? Do you think I'm as lean as I need to be? Do you think that I'm going to have enough time to get ready for this show? Things like that, more of an opinion, where it's more of a, an experience, type of thing. That's where I lean on, people as a collaborative effort. But the day-to-day operations, that's easy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense. I still do it, but
it takes practice.
Still can't do it,
bro. Like, you have to write down literally every single thing that you do for like weeks and weeks and weeks, to the point where you thoroughly understand why everything is happening in yourself. And then to that point, bro, nobody could coach you 100. Like nobody could coach you 100%. There's people that can guide you in the right direction. There's people that can tell you, you know, to make better choices or to not think as emotionally or to think about the bigger picture. But nobody can say, hey, Justin, this is how you're going to gain 5 pounds the quickest.
Krispy
Like,
Kreme.
You're going to know it.
Hold on, babe, hand me that brownie. So
That's the wrong. Oh no, he's gonna do it.
these are
Jared's just like sweating. Oh god. And Lamar.
this is from one of the girls who I live very close to Tillis Belmar. You guys probably have heard of the gym before. Very let's say controversial. And she puts her brownies there. My girlfriend gets like 2 or 3 every other week. And thankfully we're in the office now where if I want to indulge a little bit I can. This is the way to put on the weights right here.
Here's your 5 pounds, Jared.
Yeah. Sorry, Lamar. Sorry, Jared. I'm not.
You can just see the death in his face. He's like, oh.
That's all good.
She said this is knock it off. She said this is one of the better ones too. I haven't tried this brownie yet. Akira, knock it off, Baba.
So I did have some questions from some people.
Go ahead.
Well, I have a question for myself, for everybody. Just to kind of
Real quickly, I'm sorry about the dogs.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, you're good. What I've been thinking about, and it's kind of what I've been hearing and thought. So with the Olympia and the qualification process and everything, first question is, do y'all think they will continue with the same qualification procedure? That's one. And then 2, do you think after this year, they're going to decrease the number of competitors who compete in the Olympia? So 1, I think the qualification may remain the same, but I think they may decrease the amount of competitors. And I only say that because now with the amount that they have across all divisions, the show is going to be extremely long. 2, after receiving that contract and seeing what they actually pay for, you're paying for everyone's room. You're giving us $350 of flight allowance. We get a $75 was it per diem, whatever. So it's like, all right. But the previous years we didn't have this many competitors. I haven't been in the Olympia until now, but I'm just asking everybody if they do have a feedback or an opinion. What do y'all think about that? I think it's a lot, and I think they're going to cut back on it.
Well, I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. I think it's a great idea. The NFL and every other sport organization have semifinals. So I think it'd be very beneficial for the Olympia if they're trying to provide, how do I want to say it? If they want to present a more refined package, you know, especially like Lamar, I mean, you guys are all classic. Like if there's 40 dudes on the stage, like people are going to get eye fatigue. Like if San Antonio can't handle 21 people, imagine the Olympia. So there's, in my opinion, I think there needs to be some sort of semifinal show where all the Olympia qualification people come to that show. And then from there, you have this top 16. Now, obviously, there's going to be some issues with, you know, out of country guys. So maybe there's some exemptions, but I don't know. It's a thought.
I have a good thought. They have the tier systems for the shows, correct? Like they have,
yes.
Which shows are ranked where and whatnot. And I think what they maybe want to do is make it where not every show win gets a qualification,
but all get points.
And instead of like the top 3 point standings go to the Olympia, they make it to like the top 5, right? So like, let's say there's 20 shows where you can qualify because the points are high, or the tiers are higher. Then that is your playoffs, that battling for spots. I understand some people will be like, well, that means you're getting to Olympia off points, but not necessarily, because you're winning a lot of shows. And I guarantee some of those people can end up doing well because it will be more scarce, because some of the people who, like, you know, are meant to be on the Olympia stage maybe didn't win these bigger shows because the top 5 was winning these shows, but they got these points and were able to work their way up. A great example, I think, was this is the only one that really comes to mind. I remember John Jewett, it might have been last year or the year before, he got to Olympia off points and he ended up being in like the top 10 or top 8 or something like that. So, like, you know, obviously we all would like to get to Olympia off of a win. However, maybe that's a good way to kind of like limit how many people are going and make the battle for those 5 spots or whatever. I don't know. It's just an idea, like just throwing out the idea. To limit, you know, how many shows, like, because like you said, that's 40 shows that whatever, like, give Olympia qualification. Like, that's a lot of shows. You cut that in half and you go through the shows differently and the tier systems differently, and you try to figure out the points and whatnot. That might be better. I don't know. Ooh,
or combine local shows. If you have like 2 Texas shows near each other, combined it into like you know, like a big expo, make it a big thing.
Yeah,
could be it's going to hurt some egos, some promoter egos, but it could be a better product.
Didn't they have something pretty good back in the day? Like, there wasn't a lot of Olympia competitors and they had a good little form and systems, like we talk about like the 90s and like stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, actually no, didn't they say like the top 3 at each show?
Yeah, it was actually a lot more people that could qualify. Just, I don't know if everyone showed up to the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I actually know kind of like the answer to this question. So the truth of the matter is they are going to have more shows. Every year there's going to be more shows. More promoters are getting the permission to have specifically classic physique shows and things like that. I actually had a promoter about this. And essentially, with that being said, there was an old rule where, and it's actually still somewhat into play if you guys like check out the rule book, but basically after a certain amount of shows per year, the automatic qualifications go away completely. So we're, you know, obviously beyond the Arnold and, you know, beyond the Olympia.
Tier 1.
So that being said, you know, it gets to the point where it's only a tier system outside of those 2 shows, where it's like if you win the New York Pro, you get like 10 or 15 points. You know, you win the Pittsburgh Pro, you get 10 or 15 points. You know, you win the San Antonio Pro, you get like 8 points, you know, things like that. Or maybe whatever it is, a lot more than it is now for getting like 2nd place and 3rd place.
You're just making an example, right? Because if you win the New York Pro, I think that should probably be an Olympia qualification. That's, to my opinion, that's like a
like point is that it's just going to be a
tier 1 show.
So the thing is, it's going to give you the most points. So if you do the New York Pro, it's like, okay, if I win the New York Pro, I have a pretty good chance to make it just off of points alone. But I should probably do another 2 or 1 or 2 small shows to guarantee it, to seal the deal. Doing that also going to make the competitors compete more, which is going to put more fans in the seat, which is going to get more people talking. It's going to get more people going to shows. Yep. It's a long process, but I guarantee you guys, like, it's already in the books. It's already in the rules.
Okay. Yeah, because never seeing the top 5 compete is wrong, in my opinion. Like, especially open.
That's how they're going to address it. That is exactly how they're going to address it. Because the thing is, you guys are absolutely right. There are too many automatic qualifications. It was never supposed to be more than 25.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was never supposed to be more than 25.
That's why. And then that's why I just put it out there. Like, I thought it was a good idea. Like, there's 20 shows. The top 20 shows they get the qualifications for. Every other show is a point battle. That's your playoffs, and then they give 5 people Olympia spots based off that. So you have 25 people per class, something like that. I think 25 is a lot more reasonable and easier, you know, at that level. And I don't know, to me that made sense, but what you're saying makes sense too. I don't know. I don't have the right answer, but I guess we'll see with the time to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see, honestly. I mean, obviously that's not set in stone either. I just know that that's how the old system was supposed to work if this were to ever happen. Yeah. But, you know, they change things as they need to.
And we're not even talking about like men's physique and bikini. Like there's a show every weekend for those. Like, I'll see someone get an Olympia qualification, and I'm just like, what even go? Like, you have the I don't know. I'm trying to think of a funny name for a show, but you know what I mean? But like, there's just these random shows that pop up, and there's like, ends up being 40, 45, 50 competitors in MP and bikini,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And just a thought I just thought about, and maybe, I mean, these all these are just opinions and just thoughts. If the promoters were to work together, all right, so shows what is like what 3K for first, 2 to 3K for first place. I feel like if they were to work together, the pot would be bigger, and then instead of having shows every weekend, it'd be like, okay, there's 2 shows per month where 2 promoters are working together. The pot is bigger, and we're not spreading everything so thin. I don't know.
You say that because there are a lot more of those collaborations starting to happen. Like, say, for instance, this show was the Yamamoto, Wings of Strength, Tim Gardner, San Antonio Pro.
Yep.
Oh, for real, damn.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
the Yamamoto Cup shows are kind of cool to see. Yeah, you got Italy, the new France Pro. It's all Yamamoto Cup. Puerto Rico is a Yamamoto Cup show. San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I like seeing that stuff. Yeah.
Pretty neat. But that's the thing, like, those collaborations are already happening. They just got to put more money into it.
Yep. More money, live stream.
Oh my God.
Commentators for the live stream, just like they did for Boston. Everything Boston. I'm gonna get the Boston promoter on. It's gonna happen.
Please do.
Everyone needs to do what the Boston Pro did. From the Jared knows, from the pre-show promotion to the athlete discount code. The athletes need to get the money though. And then, I could go on for like an hour talking about it, but the Boston Pro should be the staple for like what a pro show should do, for the most part.
Yeah.
They did such a good job. So athlete centered and focused.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I'll probably get the Boston promoter on. Maybe since the Indy Pro is over, I'll see if I can get Dave on, and maybe bring on Paul Lazan again. That'd be a good panel, because those are all promoters. Right, Haku? I think my categories.
What food would you never eat?
I'm never gonna eat pig's feet. Never.
Pig's feet? Okay.
I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah,
What about pig's nose?
Yeah, not that either.
No.
Or ears.
Yeah, mine is chitlins. I would never eat chitlins.
Yeah, I don't. None of that either.
Anything that's still living? Anything that's still moving on the plate? Probably not.
Oh yeah,
Any kind of worm or grub?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'll do the crickets with like the seasoning on them because I heard they're good.
Yeah, maybe a little bit Sweet Baby on it, or Flavor Gang. Put some Flavor Gang on it.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one of you guys has a code for him.
No.
Yeah.
I need one. I got more questions. You want me?
Yeah.
Okay. What have you done that you're most proud of?
Jared's a dad. I mean, shit.
That comes to mind. That's number 4.
Yeah. For me, I'll just say, the Olympia qualification, and overall, just not to get all emotional, my ability to have the type of mindset that I have with both parents being gone. I speak on this a lot because I have a lot of clients. Everyone has their struggles, everyone has their adversity, but I use it for an example because it's like I could be doing so much worse. I could be a complete jackass. Like I could be evil just based off how I feel and felt during those times, but I'm not. So it's like I think that's a proud moment or thing for me to be able to be in this position and also be able to share it and speak positively about it with that, because I can't imagine. I don't think there is anything that's worse than that. So that's to me, I'm proud of that, because I've seen people lose people and they just go complete left field, and I mean, it's just
calloused.
So
Yeah.
yeah, those are my two things. Yeah.
Mommy, knock it off. Yeah, I think I can attest to that as well. I think the one thing I'm proud of is the year my dad passed away was the year I turned pro. And I remember that was at Universe, and I remember I did Universe the year before, and he was like, well, you got to do it again since you didn't turn pro. And that was the one thing that like stuck in mind, you know what I mean? And I started prep for Universe like a month and a half after he passed away, and I ended up getting my pro card there. I think that's the one thing that I can, you know, comes to mind. I'm going to go into the other room. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, then we got something in common then.
Mm.
Hold on 1 second, bud. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
No, I said we have something in common.
Yeah, for sure.
I went pro the same year my dad passed.
Really?
Yeah.
2018, you said, huh?
Yeah.
When he passed, what month? I know I'm getting a little personal, but
the 2 days after Father's Day.
Mm.
In June. Oh, in June.
Yeah. So, and yeah, that show was what, November, December. So yeah, I was out of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not easy. Not easy. And you know, it would be totally okay to not go into prep, you know, if we decided that we weren't going to be ready for it, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it doesn't even mean that we're stronger minded, in my opinion, than anyone else. Just people handle situations differently, and maybe our way of coping with that was to go into a prep and to give it our all into what we love,
right?
And kind of that as an outlet, where maybe other people had to use other means and things as an outlet. You know what I mean? So, teach their own. Everyone's their own individual. You know. So.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's something we got in common. You know. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. I guess for me, I'd say this platform, you know, being able to build this channel and meet you guys virtually so far, just being able to connect with, you know, really my role models, my idols within bodybuilding. It's been very rewarding with knowledge and then also friendships. It's been great. So I'm glad I stuck it out for those 3 years. I was making crappy supplement review videos, and then finally got into doing what I actually love. So it's been a fun half decade.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one. I like those ones.
Yeah.
It humanizes our role models and our idols.
Yeah.
Right. Did you want to go, Jared, or you already went?
Oh, well, yeah. My most proud moment was what we kind of mentioned, you know, my daughter, but also to just honestly, just like going through, I'm trying to think, honestly, like, I'd probably say like my proudest moment in recent memory was probably getting top 3 at the Warrior Classic, you know, and kind of proving that, you know, I do have a place, you know, in the IFBB. I think that meant a lot to me because it was pivotal for me. At that point, I was kind of like, you know, should I really even be doing this, or, you know, is this really for me, kind of thing like that. And once I got third there, kind of said, okay, you know, this is definitely for you, but, you know, you got to take some time, you got to come back better, you know, and it kind of set the path for everything that happened since then. So you guys know I tore my quad tendon about 7 weeks ago. And, you know, at that point, you know, we were just talking, you know, right after I got injured, not too long after I got injured. The whole idea of even coming in and doing a show was, you know, it was kind of a pipe dream, you know, but I was able to bring improvements and, you know, get another top 5 and continue to improve upon that. So I think that moment was very, very pivotal for my career at this point as well.
Another question. What's something on your bucket list you really want to do soon?
I just crossed off like 2 things on my bucket list today and this weekend, man. I went to Pinkerton's barbecue and I went to Shipley's Donuts. I'm good on the bucket list right now.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, yeah, the Olympia, and then thinking about travel, I want to go to Egypt, look at the pyramids. So that's
Ooh.
something. Yeah,
That's a cool one. That's a unique one.
yeah.
That's
Should,
different.
you can go do that KO Squad Pro.
I know, man. I want to do something overseas, but I have to plan it right. I'm so
Yeah.
regimented. Like that food got to be right. The trap,
Yeah.
I don't even know
Make
how
it
to
into
travel.
something. Yep. Get a
Yeah.
vlog team so they can record it. Partner up with a bunch of sponsors. Yep. Do some like guest posings or do some stuff. Visit some gyms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
you can
goal.
make you could get it all funded. Just gotta do it right.
That's what Terrence Ruff is about, South America.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Terrence he's got the right mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Bucket list. Say for bodybuilding for me, I really want to get behind the mic. So I'm talking with a guy right now in Canada to do the live stream commentary for a pro show. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if that's actually going to happen. It should be around March, if you guys can do the math. But very excited. That's probably my biggest thing right now is doing that.
I think that'd be cool.
Really awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah. I never thought I'd go from crappy supplement reviews to being a voice to thousands, millions, I guess at this point. But just keeping the sorry, buddy, keeping the foot on the gas and keeping the focus on advocating for athletes and promoting shows. So as long as I keep those two tenets of BNN, I think we can keep moving forward. What about you, Justin?
Oh,
Bucket list.
I have one that I'm not going to say on camera.
Fair.
That I would tell you guys when we're off live.
Okay.
I think I know it.
I would let you guys know, but I'm not. I'm just gonna kind of keep it to myself because nothing's out there, and I'd obviously share with you guys. Just it's something that I'm kind of keeping a little bit more hidden and secure to myself, and not putting it out there.
Yep.
Right.
But you guys will know about it.
It is exciting.
Don't worry.
Good, man. Good.
What about like non-bodybuilding relating bucket lists? Jared talked about the barbecue in the bakery and like in the pyramids.
Non-bodybuilding.
Open up another Aries Nutrition.
No, I mean if Pat wanted to and we could make something happen, cool. Non-bodybuilding related. I want to be able to when my car lease is up, treat myself to a nice car. And what I mean, I don't mean like luxury. I don't mean like I'm not a materialistic guy, but I'd like to like not, I'd like to just get a car that I've wanted that isn't like, breaking the bank, but just something that I can say, yeah, like I worked hard for this and like, it's mine, so maybe I think that's a fair one.
Yeah. I mean, everyone deserves to feel safe and comfortable in their vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
You got like another question or two, then I'm gonna cut off and get ready.
Yeah, I got to start.
You guys gave me an extra 30 minutes, so I'm sure the fans appreciate it.
That's on me.
We get into it. I love chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
This is cool that we do this. I like this little group that we got.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, that's all the questions I had from Instagram.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Good job, guys.
I'll do that next time. I'll put something out there. Try to get some people.
Yeah. No, I dropped the ball on that one. Life's been a little rough. We could talk more, but life's been rough for me lately.
Yeah.
So
pray it gets better. Praying it gets better for you.
Yeah. It's
And this is a quick question, just to just chop it up real before I gotta go.
Sure.
Yeah,
Are you doing are you thinking about doing Boston again, Jared?
that's a great question. I would say that it does depend on. I want to get feedback and things like that, kind of see how everything plays out for the rest of the season.
Okay.
I want to see I'm pretty puzzled. You know, once again, I feel like this physique right here was definitely good enough to be in that conversation. So, if it's realistic for me to do 1 or 2 more shows this year, potentially win, I'll do it. If not, I'll shut it down. Boston might be my first show in that case.
They have it again. I thought they weren't having the show anymore for some reason. Didn't someone say that?
Well, Boston.
The Indies
Yeah.
retired.
Oh, okay.
The Boston should. You know, actually, now that you say it, I thought someone did say that they were skipping 2023, but I don't. I don't see that. I didn't see it anywhere. I just heard it once.
No, I don't mean to like put it out there. I thought I saw or heard something.
I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, I'm disappointed because I loved it. So
It was a great show.
I'm pretty sure I was gonna. If they have it, I'll probably do it again.
I'll message the promoter today. I'll try to figure it out for you guys.
Please.
Yeah, but after Olympia, my eyes definitely are on the Arnold. I messaged the office, the IFBB office, and they opened up the registration November 1st, September, October. We got them, November 1st. So I'm gonna see if they choose me or not. Well, that's a goal.
It's exciting. Yeah, I think a lot of people want to get on that list.
Yeah.
Exciting. This year, the 2022 Arnold Classic, the Ohio, that was a good lineup. That was that was genuinely an Olympia preview.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see more than 10 people personally in Classic. I'd like to see at least 12 to 14 personally.
Yeah, 2 full lineups, at least 12, maybe 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Plug your sponsors, and then I'm sure you guys are hungry. Go get some food.
Yeah.
Leg day.
Yeah.
Ooh. Leg day.
So YouTube, I've always had one, but to go ahead and reintroduce it since I've been trying to be more active on there, is Mr. Shaw IFBB Pro. That's for YouTube. Instagram, Mr. Shaw _IFBB Pro. Current sponsor is T Fuel, which is supplement company that only has 2 products currently. So it's a 2-in-1 pre-workout with the EAA, and then also they have fiber greens, which I use for my digestion protocol, AM and PM. So that's my most recent new sponsor. Still with Felton Fit, meal prep company, and just a few partnerships around town. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys.
Cool. Jared? Actually, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jared, you're up.
All right, guys. On YouTube, I am just Jared Keys. I'm Jared Keys, either Jared Keys or Jared Keys Bodybuilding, everywhere you guys can find me. But with that being said, my number one sponsor, Chula. You guys know I'm always rocking her gear. I'm rocking her bodybuilding trunks. I'm rocking her classic physique trunks. I'm rocking everything she's got, guys. Apparel, t-shirts, stringers, everything. Jared tends a code for that. I'm with Evolve, guys. Get your blood work, all that kind of stuff done. You need to be, in control of your health and everything like that, guys. So bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, everything that we do there. Code's Jared25 there, guys. 25% off your first treatment or blood test. And then also with Gym Pen, guys, if you want to add more weight to your equipment, get more, I would say, advancement of aggressive overload in your training, and you max out your machines, Gym Pen is definitely going to be a great attachment for you guys. I also recommend their D-handle bar. So basically, it's a long D handle bar you set up on the cable tower where you can do adjustable handle grips and things like that. I totally recommend that as well, guys. There's James Hollins head using it right there.
That looks nice. I've wanted to get one actually for a while because they have the short one and the long one, right?
Sure do. I have the long handle, which I really like.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. For some reason with me, like when I do my lat pull downs, my bad shoulder collapses in. So when I do it with handles, I feel like I can keep it back better.
Right. You might be able to control that the even weight a little bit better as well.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Discount code Jared10.
Discount code Jared10.
Hell yeah. Justin, Aries, Centurion.
Yeah, man. So
That's getting big, boy.
Uh-huh.
you guys
Big.
can my codes in my bio because they're not like all the same. I have some that are like flow 10. I think I have a different one for liquid sun rays. So Centurion Labs for all performance-based products and supplementation. I work for Aries Nutrition as the store manager of one of the locations. If you want to come check it out, message me personally. When I put it out there in one of my other posts, I got some creepos trying to figure out where exactly I am. So I'm gonna just say if you want to come into the store, shoot me a DM. We'll help you out. And if you want to order online, I got a code there for you as well. I'm with Chula as well. Awesome trunks, awesome apparel, liquid sun rays. My coach Dan Hawn's awesome. My Cairo, Dr. Umar Nisar from Asylum. I forget what else I got in there. My YouTube is just my name. Coaching and posing, feel free to hit me up. Would love to work with you guys and help you guys out. I'm actually holding my first posing seminar 2 weeks from today. It's an in-person one, so you have to be local to where I am. Again, you can reach out to me and message if you're interested. But yeah, no, and then I just want to thank Jared, Lamar, and Josh, obviously, for the opportunity to kind of come on here. As always, like I said, I like this group of people. I appreciate coming on and chopping up with y'all, and I hopefully we can make this a consistent thing with the schedules and whatnot because you guys are good people. So
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you much.
definitely. We'll do it more than monthly. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Take care. Enjoy your Sundays. Jared, safe travels, and we'll talk to you guys sooner.
All
Yes.
right.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right.
Guys, peace out.